the Black African American population, they don't really like going to a therapist. They feel like, oh, they're going to be talking my business and this and that. And honestly, it's against the law for us to have any conversations. I've seen people go to jail, people lose their licenses. Can you imagine going to school for all the years to give it away because you talk about somebody in the elevator? In the elevator? No. The student loans is real.
Yeah, I can't want $1 billion in the elevator.
What happens in the elevator stays in the elevator. So we don't go to people to talk. We don't go to people to work things out. And one of the biggest things that I find, a lot of clients that come to me and they search me out, black, white. A lot of clients search me out because they feel like with my personality, which is big, is huge. My personality, I'm gonna tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear or what they need to hear. Sometimes I gotta be that harsh. You messed up. You messed up, and this is how we gonna fix it.
Hey guys, it's your girl Lady Ma, Becoming All Things Pretty. We are here with our second episode of Pretty Minds, the podcast, and I have a very, 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 very special guest. My sis, my friend, this lady right here has been very inspirational and influential in my life, and she is working to change other people. She is a licensed clinical social worker, and we are here to discuss some of the innovating procedures and some of the experiences you've been through. Okay. How you doing today, sis?
I'm good. I'm awesome.
I'm loving it.
There's a bit, sometimes I gotta take the matrix out.
Okay, Neo. Okay, in the building. I love it. So
it's been a good ride. I love what I do.
I like that because I was telling somebody that last night, like I really actually love what I do.
Yeah.
If I could wake up and just do this like on a larger, grander scale, yeah. But I love it. I actually do. Just for fun. So you know me, like I like to just kind of jump right in. You have done all types of jobs. You've worked in the prison, you worked with the veterans, you've worked with couples, trauma. Like, how do you deal with it as a therapist, like having a front row seat to like all the complexities of like the human mind? Like, share that with us.
And it's funny because I talked about that today in supervision. My interns, they're trying to get their license as well. So we talked about the fact that we counsel first responders, and actually we're first responders too. The same stuff that when people bring stuff to us, we have to own that. We have to keep it, and then we have to move on to the next client, and we can't react to the trauma that they just dumped on us. We have to be that person that they can dump that on and know that they're going to be able to leave it there. And, we're not going to take it.
Separate that. Like, how do you continue to be so positive, and how do you not allow that that baggage to like weigh you down? Like for me, like I'm very empathetic, right? Mm-hmm. So if if I'm in a room and it's too heavy, mm-hmm. like I'm feeling it, I gotta get away, or I want to help it, and I'm like, yo, I can't help the whole world.
Mm-hmm. Airline tickets,
like the trip.
So airline tickets. One of the biggest thing I always tell my therapists, my interns, that they need to take breaks. You can't just feel like you're gonna sit there and work a year through. At least once a month, I go someplace, even if it's local. And 4 times a year, I'm traveling away where I am leaving everything behind and I'm moving away, so I don't have to. I can separate myself from that, recharge, and come back renewed and start again. Okay. So, taking a lot of breaks, making sure I do things for myself, go get my nails done, go do this, go do that, color my hair. It's always a different color every day, so it just depends on the day.
But I love that part about you because you know a lot of people think that therapists or counselors are so serious or they have like a buttoned up approach and you have to look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's more relatable because like I can look at you and be like, that's my sister or my mom or my cousin, and I'm sure that helps with you're dealing with clients and making them feel more accepting and wanting to open up.
Yeah, especially with our population, the Black African American population, they don't really like going to a therapist.
There's a stigma.
Yeah, they feel like, oh, they're gonna be talking my business and this and that. And honestly, it's against the law for us to have any conversations about
HIPAA is real, y'all.
Like I've seen people go to jail, people lose their licenses. Can you imagine going to school for all them years to give it away because you talking about somebody in the elevator? In the elevator? Okay. No. The student loans is real.
I can't want $1 billion in the elevator.
What happens in the elevator stays in the elevator. That's what I believe. But so we don't go to people to talk. We don't go to people to work things out. And one of the biggest things that I find, a lot of clients that come to me and they search me out, Black, white, a lot of clients search me out because they feel like with my personality, which is big, is huge. My personality, I'm gonna tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear. Sometimes I gotta be that harsh. You messed up. You messed up, and this is how we gonna fix it.
So kick them in the butt, and give them a plan.
But it's okay. This is how we gonna fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some people do need tough love. It's like raising a family. You have each child needs something different. So one child you might be able to wag your finger and that child's gonna straighten up. But the next child might need you to take something away. And the next child might need you to just take a little more time. So I get that. I just get that. How has your experience in working in therapy influenced your own perspective on resilience, empathy, and the capacity for growth? Because as people, we're mostly optimistic. We want to see everything at full. And when you hear so much trauma and different things, how do you allow that to not bother you and not keep you from growing personally and professionally?
Because the trauma that I hear about, that I bring in, at the end of the day, when that client leaves my therapy, because when people say they've been in therapy for years, they shouldn't be. They should not be in therapy for years. They should be in therapy just long enough where they learn the coping skills, they learn how to deal with the issues they're having, and they learn how to deal with any additional issues that may come up. So, I've been in therapy for 5 years. That means you ain't got a good therapist.
Yeah.
So basically, at the end of the day, when that person is able to say, I know how to handle, if a situation come up, I know how to handle it. Yes, you may have dumped it, but I just did my job, because now you're not going to be that broken down person that came into my office a while ago. You're that stronger person who is more confident in themselves, that I can make it through this. I can get past. I can believe in myself.
I like the way that you stated that, and your business is called Peace of Mind.
Yes.
So tell us, how did you get to that point? What in your life made you say, you know what, this is the path I want to take? You're very highly educated. So what made you say therapy is the thing?
Honestly, therapy fell in my lap, because I was actually going to school to be a banker. I worked as a teller. I worked as a mortgage broker. I was a banker. That's what I did. I'm good at numbers. I could figure out any kind of numbers in my head. So that's what
It's a big shift.
High school. I went to engineering high school, so numbers is in my blood. But when I decided to go back to school, I had 3 kids, and I decided to go back to school. I was like, listen, I need to go on a path that's going to take me right to my degree, and I'm not going to take no shortcuts, no. So I took a class called career counseling, career success, and I kept doing this career test, and it kept coming up social worker. I'm like, I don't want to be no social worker. They won't make no money. I took the test 3 times. It kept coming up social worker. So I said, okay, I guess something is telling me this is what I'm supposed to do. So I changed my courses from financing to social work, and I went straight through. I got my associates in a year and a half, my bachelor's by year 3, and by year 4 I had my master's degree. And I was like, I just plowed through because like I said, I had 3 kids. I couldn't take the time. So doing therapy, even when I worked as a banker, I was sort of doing therapy because the individuals, when you do mortgages, you go by numbers, right? The credit score, utilization risk, and things like that, knowing, the rate that people qualify for, things like that. But I would listen to their problems. I was listening to too long. I was listening to like, okay, this person, they were out of work for 6 months because they had a car accident. So yes, their credit score going to be a little lower because they weren't able to pay the bills, but look how they bounced back. So I would fight for those hard loans. And guess what? It worked. People need that. It worked. But if you just went by the numbers, they wouldn't get it. So, I was doing it before I even went to school. I just didn't realize I was doing it until I went to school. So your life skills became your career. I respect that. Okay. So in reflecting on your career, do you have like a specific case or experience that like profoundly impacted you or shaped, your approach to counseling and mental health advocacy? I know you can't make it like a specific name or anything, but could you give us like an example of like a moment that like really impacted you? Well, just recently I had a moment that impacted me. Yes, I've been doing this for a long time, but I had a moment recently. I had a client reach out to me after 8 years. Her children had got removed by DCF, and I was working with the attorneys to help her guide her through her case plan on regaining custody of her kids. And I worked with her, picked her up, took her to appointments, picked her up, brought her to court and stuff like that. Eventually I talked to her about closing her case out, permanent guardianship, and she listened to me because I told her it's better she do that than not complete her case plan and then her kids not get lost in the system. Then they'll be adopted out. So she did that. Well, she called me out of the blue. First of all, she Googled my phone number. I was like, how you get my phone number? But that was neither here nor there. She wanted to find me. Yes. So she called me and she said, I want to thank you for what you did for me. And I want you to know that they're finally closing my case. And she wanted to know if I could be in court with her. So actually last Tuesday I went to court and I witnessed her getting her case closed. And she cried when she see me. And it was, sometimes even, something small like that, it was worth it. Because you get to see it. A lot of times, it's a one-off or you don't get to see the end result. Because people don't always follow through with therapy. A lot of times people start therapy and then they, can't stick to it. How do you keep them on track? Well, it's nothing that I do. It's nothing I do. They have to want it. I can want it for them. If they don't want it, there's nothing I can do. I can't force somebody. Oh, you got to do my coping skills. You got to do this. You got to do that. I can't do that. I give you, the advice. I can tell you that this has worked in the past. It's up to you if you want to do it or not. If you do, you may be successful. If you don't, you still may be successful. I don't know. But a lot of times I see people come back because they didn't use those skills, and they're like, I forgot how to do this. And and then they end up back in the same place that they were in. So. Yeah, a lot of times once that stressor is gone, it's like, oh, I don't need this. But that's exactly when you do need it, because that's when you learn the most. And that's what I tell people. You have to practice the coping skills when you don't need it. So when you do need it, you'll remember how to do it. Like muscle memory. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
I know that like you're always on something innovative and exciting. I've seen you do art projects, I've seen you do retreats, all of these different things, right? So what are your new techniques? What are you learning now? I heard you've been on a fire truck. And I mean like the fire engine.
Just working with first responders because people don't realize what they do. People
wait.
realize.
I just want to stop you for a second. Do you get the whole suit?
Oh, I got pictures. I put on the whole boots and big pants and jacket and it is heavy. Their gear can weigh up to 60 more pounds on top of the weight because they have everything, the tools, everything they have in there. So it's heavy.
Itself,
yeah. And then you put that the oxygen tank on, and they have to not only carry all of that, but if they go into a building and there's somebody in there, they have to carry that person out too. So yeah, it's hard work. What I discovered is sometimes, you know, you don't realize that person goes into that building. They rushing into the fire. We rushing out. They rushing in. And you know, if you pull somebody out and they pass away, guess what? You still got to go back in there and pull somebody out. You can't deal with the fact that that person died.
So you have to compartmentalize.
And then you may, on the way back to the firehouse from that fire, get another one, and you got to go to that one. You know, you could go 5-6 times a day, going to see different negative things happen.
They don't get to decompress.
Yeah. So working with them because, you know, I do a lot of couples counseling, and one of the biggest things, like the couples, they feel like the spouses feel like, well, this person won't show me an emotion. They have to learn how to cut them. It's just like military. Yeah. You have to learn to cut your emotions off.
Become desensitized.
Desensitized, yeah. So, you know, that's it. That's always a passion for me because I love firefighters. I love.
I was just gonna ask you, do you ever see yourself like
I'm not supposed to say that. Yeah, don't get my husband didn't hear me say firefighters were sexy. He didn't hear that.
Well, not at all.
Not at all. But they are, you know. I mean, just imagine just
no masculinity. Yeah, like like
rushing into a burning building, right?
And you made it back up.
Yeah,
with the guy.
Really, one-handed, like, ugh. Yeah, right now. We had a moment. I'm sorry.
I know you never saw yourself like, all right, I'm gonna be a firefighter, like in a truck and a fire engine. Like, what did you?
Not me, because one, I got asthma. I can't do the breathing thing, and two, I'm not that committed. I'm not rushing in. I don't do bodily fluids, and they have to sometimes they have to deal with urine and stuff like that because firefighters are also paramedics. I would never be a nurse. I don't do blood. I don't do vomit. I don't do poop. I definitely don't do poop.
I don't do none of that. Don't be like in the medical field. I had high hopes, so I was like, okay, law or consulting.
I'll talk to anybody all day long, but you poop, I'm gone.
Well, I would be gone on that note too, especially as an adult. But I definitely think it's pretty cool that you're into that. So, what is this new certification with trauma?
EMDR. EMDR is a new forefront of trauma. It's basically helping people go back to the memories, because usually with trauma you get stuck right there. So helping them go back to that point where they're stuck and helping them get unstuck. It's using, different light sources and, different breathing techniques and helping them go back to it and change their concept of how they reacted in the moment.
The military uses that a lot. The VA, it does seem to help, and it kind of helps you to not regress and keep getting stuck in that moment. So I think
you get unstuck. Like let's say a rape victim, they may get stuck feeling like, oh, I got turned on, so I must have asked for that. My body was stimulated. I must have asked for it, or I must have caused it. So, the whole time they're feeling like, oh, it wasn't a rape. It was, you know, me being promiscuous or something like that.
But you were assaulted.
But you were assaulted, and going back and realizing that your body is reacting to, you know, what's happening. And sometimes you disassociate from your body. You're not in your body. So your body's reacting, even though it's like you're not in it. So, you know, a lot of people don't realize that. They're like, oh, I did become stimulated. Something's wrong with me, you know?
Because why would I enjoy something?
Yeah.
That's heavy. That's heavy. So what's your self-care? I know you said you like to travel, but like, what's just for you? Like,
what's just for me?
And what do you recommend for people, like, you know, just on a daily and making sure you're staying checked in?
For me, it's dancing. I dance every weekend.
Yeah.
Every weekend. I love dancing. I will dance from morning to night.
Heavy feet.
Yeah. What? And I get down too, okay. So I ain't worried about it. I will dance and dance and dance. I will listen. People gotta stop and watch me dance because I just enjoy doing it. I will dance. I'll be the only one in the place dancing. It don't matter where I'm at the park, wherever. If I hear music, I'm dancing.
Okay.
That's my like daily, weekly release. And then, you know, I manage I manage so many teams. Yes. I have a professional cricket team. I have a professional master's level cricket team. I do international cricket. I have, you know, soccer. I have a master's team. I, you know, do the cricket academy with the kids. You know, I have an autistic son who needs a lot of work. So I do a lot of traveling. Every year for my birthday, I have to take a trip out of the country. And, you know, my bucket list says every year I should wake up in a different country for my birthday. This year is going to be a little different because I'm going to wake up in America for my birthday. I mean, it's going to be different because I'm waking up in America, but I'm going to leave the night after because this is a big birthday. So.
Yes. Yeah. The big one.
Mm-hmm. The big one. Half a century, man.
Yes, I ain't want to put it out there.
Listen,
wanted, so yes,
I look good for 49, so I ain't worried about it.
All the way through, yes. Black on Grand Cast, you look amazing. Additionally, though, I think that's a cool way to celebrate yourself, but also, like, you know, a positive spin of it because you do a lot. Like, I work a lot, but you work. Like, I don't even know, like, how you have that energy. I only hope at that, you know, in 10 years, that'll be me. I still have that energy to keep going because we got to get rich so we can retire.
And even if I was rich, I would still be working. Yeah. I think I would.
But just like, you know, I think you could pick and choose what you want to do a little bit more.
Yeah, pick and choose my project.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, we talked about the stigma. We talked about like where you are now and that perspective. Like, what do you see the evolving landscape of like mental health awareness and like what's your approach to, you know, influencing therapy and like what trends do you see?
Oh, I'm quick to say, oh, you need to go talk to somebody. I'm real quick about that. When I see it, I can see it on people like when something is weighing on. Sometimes people don't realize that they wear their emotions on, just even on your sleeve. Like you're like, you don't even realize you're looking down and stuff like that. You know,
body language.
Yeah. So I'm quick to tell somebody you need to go talk to somebody. You know, if you don't talk to me, talk to somebody because you know it's needed. You know, I explained to them about, you know, the different things when it comes to the stigma. You know, I try to make people comfortable, you know, comfortable that they can feel like they can talk to me. I don't know what it is. people seem to just talk to me for no reason.
Well, you're generally just a good person.
I mean, I'm gorgeous. Yeah. That's the one
Pretty.
reason too.
Pretty,
so people just be like, "Oh, I need to talk to that pretty girl right there," you know. So
you better claim it.
Yeah, that's that too. So they'll come and just start talking to me. I'm like, I just want to buy some groceries.
and I'll six.
I have people come up to me in the grocery store and they start telling me everything about their husbands and their wives and their kids, and I'm like, "Hi, my name's Racquel." Just let all this stuff out on me.
All just family.
Yeah. Say the first part of your question again.
So how has the evolving landscape of like mental health awareness influenced your approach?
Well, mental health actually is growing in the terms of people are now saying, listen, I have an issue and I need to get help. See, before it was like, don't ask, don't tell. Keep your business at home. Don't bring my business on the road. What happens in this house, stay in this house. But now we're realizing that there's some people with some issues.
And maybe we need to kick open the doors to some of these houses.
Maybe if some people that talk to them, they wouldn't be shooting up the schools. They want to be doing all the stuff that they're doing. Helping to deal with the issues. So, like I said, mental health is growing. One of my ultimate goals is to actually open a clinic in Jamaica, where I'm from. I see in Jamaica even mental health growing. I hear people they have a song now that says "Mad We Amado," and everybody's talking about they going mad and what they're going to do because they're going mad. And it's like, because being mad in Jamaica is like having a mental health problem. So in the past, they used to just have this Bellevue, this big like hospital where they put all the mental people in. It don't matter what mental illness you have, that's where you go to Bellevue. Well, now people are realizing that there's other issues. There's autism, there's different things that people have. So my goal is to open up a clinic or several clinics in Jamaica. That's my ultimate goal.
I saw some of that firsthand. Just that and even how the people react to just in America, you see it every day, so for me, seeing it outside of the country, it was different because it was just literally like that. They just let them roam,
let them roam.
And so we do have somewhat of a better grasp on mental health.
Well,
and I don't mean better, but I just mean so far
now they're closed in America, especially in Florida. They closed all of the hospitals. All of the psych hospitals, they've closed them. There's only one in Chattahoochee. They can't hold all the people. So now they're holding them in jails. So now you're being arrested and incarcerated for a mental illness.
So that's the difference. Okay. So we just not seeing it on the streets.
You're not seeing it because they're in the jails. Like I work at the jails and I see in a jail that I worked at, there was 600 inmates and 500 of them had mental illness. So it's like now they're being housed in jail instead of in hospitals.
So there's no treatment.
There's no
treatment. Could be no rehab or no rehabilitation. How do we put you back to society when you didn't get the reform you needed or the rehabilitation?
No medicine, no nothing. And you put them back out on the street. And once you put them back out on the street, they go do it again, then they come right back, and then it's like a repeat cycle. It's just over and over and over again.
That's insane. I know that gotta be like one of the hardest parts of working with people because when I got out of the military, one of the things I did was open a home for veterans who had mental health issues, things like that. And
that's the saddest part. It is because I work with trying to get some veterans into the housing. There's so many veterans that come home, able-bodied, don't have any mental illness, that have nowhere to go to. If I got enlisted in New Jersey, right, and they sent me to Fort Bragg in North Carolina, right, and then when I go to Japan and I come back, they bring me to North Carolina. I ain't got no family there. And if something happened to my family, guess what? I don't have no home. I don't have a house. I don't have a job. I don't have anything. So I come back and I'm just here on the road.
If you are injured in combat,
then you don't get no money. You don't get no help. You know? So it's like now I gotta figure out how to live off of the land. Now I really gonna go and have issues.
It takes years to readjust from being a soldier and becoming a civilian.
Mm-hmm.
You're not used to people talking to you certain ways. You're used to living in a bubble because your life is so regimented. And even when you're, doing regular everyday things, it's on a clock. It's on a fixed schedule. I use this ID card, and all of us might not be the same.
Number.
Exactly. Well, all of us might. The mentality is we're not the same, but we have the same common goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We have to all follow these orders.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're home and you don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nobody to say, go to sleep, wake up, come here, be here, do that. Did you?
400. It's time to get up. Like, no.
Work out, eat healthy, all of these things. So I definitely see like where that would be good for what you want to do in Jamaica, but I could also see like that being effective here, especially in the private sector. And that's what I meant when I was saying we have somewhat of a grasp on it because they have closed down the site facilities, but the private sector has become a lane. If you've seen that show Bell Collective about the black women,
yes,
in Jackson, one of the ladies on there,
she has
big
facility
in Jackson. Her partner, I love to see that. So I like that. I like to know that but it's an option. So same thing, like you could do that in Florida to Jamaica. So don't steal her ID. So I know I really appreciate you being so open and honest with us, and I love seeing a black female that's like not only just winning but embracing that and giving back to other people. What do you feel like your biggest accomplishment has been?
My biggest accomplishment, I would say, coming to work today. Getting up every day and coming to work.
Okay.
That's my biggest accomplishment. I have a credit card that says, it's a bright neon green credit card that says, I am the best me I can be. I'm the best me I can be today, and tomorrow I'll be a better me. So my biggest accomplishment every day is being the best me I can be. So just getting through this day and making it to tomorrow, and my goal is to be a better me tomorrow than I was today. So every day is my biggest accomplishment.
We have a lot in common because that's the thing I say all the time. If I could just be a little bit better today than I was yesterday, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't compare myself to anybody because I feel I do Racquel really well. I don't think anybody can do Racquel like me. I can't be the best anybody else. I can only be the best Racquel, and I mastered her.
I think she's pretty dope. I like her. I
keep her. I like her a little bit. I rock with her. Talking in third person. I think I've been hanging with my clients too much.
It's okay. We won't tell.
As long as my third person don't start talking back to me, that's when I have to be concerned.
Okay. I'm gonna let you know if that happens. Okay.
Yeah, if you hear that happen, then you know.
Okay. So tell everyone where they can find you, how they can book you.
So, Peace of Mind, Counseling and Consulting LLC. My website is www. Did I say enough W's? I said too many.
That's
three. Okay. www.peaceofmindhealing, because I believe in the healing. peaceofmindhealing.net. I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Peace of Mind. My phone number is 813-421-4876. My email address, just once you get on the website, you'll see my email address. Because it's long. But, call me. My office manager doesn't get to work till 12 o'clock. He has very special hours. So call. I accept most insurances. I accept cash. The only thing I don't get paid in is pennies, because it's too much to bring to the bank. But I take anything. I haven't been paid. I've never been paid in food stamps, but I guess I'll be paid in that too if
I
you
think
need
that's
to.
illegal, so we will cut that part out.
No, I can't.
But you might be able to take EBT SNAP, like the cash. You might be able to do that. You know, you can buy clothes at Rainbow with EBT.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So in order for like people to get back to work, learning about the profession, I do professionalism workshops, right? So they give them access to be able to buy clothes, so you can't use food stamps, but they can use their benefit card, their cash card.
But if somebody's on benefits, then I probably wouldn't charge them a session, because I do have a sliding scale. If based on how much income you have. Yeah, no.
See, girls, we don't all have to pay or have insurance. Yeah, but you can still get help. And I'm sure there's
I believe in giving back. You know, I've done pro bono work for the Innocence Project, which you know, we work with people who have been wrongly incarcerated. So helping to give back like that, I do counseling with them, and there's no charge for them, because I feel like they've been spent most of their lives, you know, put away. That, you know, if I can help them at least a minimum reintegrate back into life, that's the, you know, thing I can do.
Special. I love it. I love it. So, and everything you do is seem like, you know, you always reaching out, giving back to somebody else. So before we get up out of here, let's give you a literal smile today. Sorry. Little shirt. A literal smile.
I love socks too.
Yes, and I'm not to soccer, right?
Oh, God, I love socks.
It came off. Sorry. So I'm on this whole kick because all the reality girls got their little fans. So I got this all about their little personal fans. Okay. I didn't realize they need batteries, because I thought I was going to use mine earlier, but yes, it does need a battery.
Okay.
But
I got batteries.
You know, see, I like that.
I got batteries.
So just a little kid.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love the socks though.
Yes, I like literally smile. You make everybody else smile.
I'm a smile. Smile, and the whole world smiles back at you.
Yeah. I really, really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.